All right, another episode of Conversate After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's great with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversates After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have an interesting topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Listen to our past episodes. Make sure you tell people about the show. So, Tay, let's do the icebreaker. This is our
All
first show
right.
or our second show of the year.
This is the second show in the year.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, today's question. What scared you the most about sex as you were coming of age?
uh, getting burned. Getting burned. Yeah, getting burned. Because, you hear those. There was what was it, the Kumo D song? 3 weeks later, go see the doctor. Um,
Yeah.
so, talking about your dick looking like a foot and having to get the needle and all the stories they tell you about what happens if you get burned. That was my biggest fear. Like, okay, I don't want to have to deal with that. Just because it's embarrassing, right? And I didn't want to have to explain it to anybody or anything like that. So yeah, getting burned. I wasn't really worried about getting anybody pregnant, although I should have been. But yeah, it was getting burned.
Okay. I had two. One, I think a lot of women hear when they're younger that it's gonna hurt the first time.
Did it?
So uh y- it was more so uncomfortable. And I realize now that that was because of his size, but at that age I didn't know that.
Oh, he
Well,
was
actually that I was
he was
that age.
well
I was in my
endowed.
20s. He was well endowed. Then I found out later as I moved on from him in life, I found out that he was well endowed. But so it was uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable. But it didn't necessarily hurt. I can't say that. And the other one was I was scared of getting pregnant because that was a vow that I had made to myself was not to be a teenage or a single mother. So yeah, those were my biggest fears.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it was just about, I mean, I think for the most part, if you strap up, you are protected from most why did they start saying STIs instead of STDs?
I don't know. No, I don't know why it changed from that.
Because it used to be venereal disease, and then it
Hmm.
went to STD. Now it's STI. But maybe we need to put that in Google to find out. But yeah, and that's one of those things where like, yeah, you just wear a condom, man, and you should be straight. But a lot of dudes don't. A lot of dudes don't wear condoms. So
That and also sometimes condoms break, so you gotta worry about that too.
you ever had a situation with a condom broke?
Yes, I have. It
Fucking rambunctious sex was y'all having? Shit.
was regular sex. I don't know why, and that scared me. Like I don't know what, and I never had sex with that dude ever again after that because I was scared. But I understand now that it had nothing to do with him. It was the condom, but that scared me.
You gotta get the right size condom. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, obviously if you like porn style, if you got a porn dick like 12 inches or some shit like that, obviously you need like the magnums that are built for guys who are bigger. But I will say this: magnums aren't just for like the porn dicks too. Like regular guys who may just be above average with girth, you can rock that too and still have a pleasurable experience because some of those other ones like those lifestyles and those Durexes. I mean, I'm saying their names because I'm not talking about them, but they were like extra tight, and I think you'd
Mm.
probably be more prone to having those situations to where you may have a breakage of the condom, but those are the ones they used to give out of student health, though. I don't know. Did y'all have like
Okay.
student health where you go in there and they just give you like a boatload of condoms?
Well, during the times when, like in high school, I wasn't having sex, so I wasn't doing that in
Yeah, I'm
college.
talking about college student health.
Oh, I never went to student health other than getting a physical because I played tennis. So other than getting a physical, I never went to student health services in college.
Look, let me tell you.
And for the most of the time in college, I wasn't having sex either. So
Let me tell you. Student health at the university I went to, they were good for two things. You go in there and you tell them that you were sick, they would give you a boatload of decongestant medicine and a boatload of condoms. That was their only that was their only remedy to everything. Like here, take this decongestant or oh here, here's these condoms. And that's it, you know. So that's one good thing was that they give you condoms, but again, they gave you the cheap ones though.
right.
Do you buy condoms, Tay, or what you do?
Say that again.
You buy condoms?
Do I buy them? I have bought them in the past, yes.
You don't keep a stash?
At this point, no, because I'm not doing anything. I mean, but if I needed to, I
I
mean,
mean,
there were times in the past where I've had them around because I had an active sex life. But I mean, if I'm not having a sex, I don't need them.
were you ever judged by the dude because you had condoms?
Um, if so, they never voiced it.
Mm.
But as I always say, I'm not putting my health in somebody else's hands. So, and because and the reason why I started carrying them was because I had been hit a few times with guys saying, "Oh, I forgot, I didn't bring any. You're not getting any." So, I mean,
They start patting their pockets and all that old shit.
exactly. So, well, here, I got one for you. So, what's your excuse now? Yeah, So that's why I started by my own.
Be prepared and yeah, okay. So I just looked up while we was talking why they changed from STD, sexually transmitted disease, to sexually transmitted infection. They said number one, it's a broader definition. Infection includes cases where someone has sexually transmitted pathogen but shows no symptoms. For example, people with HPV or chlamydia may not show symptoms. And then they also say it reduces the stigma. The term disease carries a stronger stigma, which I don't see that. I don't see that changing. Whether you say STD or
No.
STI, it's still some shit nobody wants. You know what I'm saying? So, sound like they just changed. I mean, they just changed it just to be changing shit. Like, remember, like when we was
Right.
growing up, we used to be black people, and then they said, no, now we're African Americans. It's like, I'm black. I still say STD.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was scared of that. I was scared of that for sure. I remember my first time getting checked for STDs. I was in college. I think I told the story before, but my homeboy asked me to go with him. He was like, "Man, I need your support." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Man, I've been wilding out and I need to get checked for HIV." It's like, all right. So he was like, just come up with me, sit in the lobby in case, I get bad news, then, you could be there for me. So I'm waiting in the lobby. He comes out and he's like, yeah, good. Probably went right back to raw dog and chicks, but at least he came out and was like, yeah, I'm good. So then I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I need to get tested too. So I signed up. We was a student health. I still remember the dude's name. He was a nurse practitioner. His name was Rick. I ain't gonna give his last name, but his name was Rick. And it was a big ass white boy. He was gay, right? But he was cool. He was very informative and everything. And I went to get tested, and he was like, "Hey, you been having sex with prostitutes?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "You having, same gender sex?" No, I don't do that. You been in a third world sleeping with somebody? I was like, "No, I don't do that either." He said, "More than likely you're good, but let's just go ahead and run the test." And this was back, now you get your test back, like HIV test, you get it back immediately, right?
Right.
So, but this is back in the time, this was like 98, 98,
Hmm.
99. So, it was like a week. They had to send it off, and it was a week. So you was sweating the whole time, like,
Right.
so that whole time I'm making deals, I'm praying, like, Lord, I'll never have unprotected sex again. If you if you just bless me. I was gonna write a letter to Magic Johnson and see if he could pay for my medication and shit. I mean, yeah, I was tripping. I was tripping bad. So I get there and I go in for my exam for my results, right? And Rick comes in And he's like, Mr. Banks, I have bad news. And listen, say I was like, oh no. And he was like, no, 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 no. Your test isn't back yet. I need you to come back tomorrow.
Right. He knew what that was going to
Bro,
do.
yeah, you could have said that a whole lot different, Rick. You could have said that a whole lot different. And I came back the next day and I was good, thank God. And what shit, 20 plus years later, I'm still good. So I get
Yeah.
tested, man. How often you get tested?
I usually do it with my yearly physical when I go, to my doctor. They ask if you want, well, yes, sometimes they ask and sometimes they don't, but I usually say run everything.
Isn't that a part of the like y'all get y'all PAP every year? Isn't that just part of the PAP?
No, mm-mm. No, now in more recent years they ask all the time. But I remember when I was younger that you had to ask for um STD, STI screenings. But now it's a formal question that they always ask. And it doesn't come with it. You have to, it's a separate question. So if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. But I usually just say run everything. And that's not just with sexually transmitted infections, that's with, you know, high blood pressure, diabetes, all that stuff runs in my family. Mammograms, I'm starting to get now, cancer screenings, all that stuff. I run everything because I want to know, what I'm facing.
Yeah, I'm thankful I have a doctor that is proactive and runs all the tests. Now I do have to actively ask for the STI check. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the insurance thing or something, but like they make that more difficult than it needs to be.
Hmm.
Because you have to answer these questions. And again, maybe they have to answer that for insurance, but it's like, well, have you been engaging in risky activities? And it's like, motherfucker, what does it matter? Like, if I want to be tested, I'm gonna pay for it. Just run the damn test.
Right.
You're already taking my blood, just grab an extra vial and run the test. So I don't, to me, that would dissuade people from wanting to get tested.
Um, I guess, but I think that goes back to the fact that we should be talking to our doctors anyway. Because I have heard a lot of people say, when people go to the doctors, but I've specifically heard this with wives concerning husbands or kids concerning parents. If a doctor asks you, have you been having any symptoms of whatever lately? And they'll minimize it. But we should be telling our doctor, the person who has gone to school to try to help us, we should be telling them everything anyway. So if they're asking questions like that, we shouldn't be afraid to answer them, in my
Minimizing
opinion.
minimizing whatever symptoms they may be having. Is that what
Right,
you're saying?
right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not just talking about sexual questions. I'm talking about across the board with everything.
Yeah,
Because how can you get help if you don't tell people what's wrong?
I think a lot of people live in denial though. They'd rather stay in denial and like hopefully it'll go away.
True.
Hopefully, it'll heal itself. And if I drink enough water and club soda or ginger ale, it'll go away. But the damn chlamydia, you can't get that with that burners or that Canada Dry, man. You got
Right.
you got to go get some medicine for that, my G. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you the worst time I was judged asking for a test was when I was still married. And this made me, and honestly, this made me stop going to this particular practice because I was getting my regular blood work done. And I was like, yeah, can you just run the STI panel as well? I said STD panel. And they were like, aren't you married? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh. And then like when I went back for my results, they were like, "Hey, aren't you married?" Like, yes. Like what does it matter? If I want to get tested, I want to get tested. You don't know the ins and out of my relationship. You don't know what could have happened, and I shouldn't have to divulge. For
Mhm.
me, it was just because like I've been talking to people and people were like, "Hey, look, it's just good business, good practice every year, twice a year to get tested." So I wanted to start that practice of getting that done.
Mhm.
it wasn't a situation like where I caught my wife cheating on me or I was cheating and I had a scare or anything like that. I was just trying to get on the right path. And I was like, dude, this type of judgment, that's to me, that's counterproductive for folk.
Yeah. I get it. There's an actress that I follow, and she's mentioned this many times before. She's married, and she says she trusts her husband, you know, as much as you can trust anybody. But she still, when she gets her yearly, she still has them run every test because she wants to take the stigma out of getting tested for them. That's what's going on in her mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And then people started bringing to light that shit could be dormant, which I didn't know that that was the case. But yeah, stuff could be dormant because I've
Yeah.
talked to some people and they had a situation where they were just like, "Hey, you tested positive for this," and they were like, "What the fuck?" So they ready to go off. They ready to go off on their spouse and everything. But the doctor stopped them and they said, "Hey, more than likely, you've had this for years, and it just now showed up, and that's because they can some for some of the STDs, STIs, they can check the range like." I'm not a medical professional, but I think they can basically test like if you first got it, like
Hmm.
it's full blown raging, they can see at what level it is. But if it's been
Okay.
in your body for a while, the level that it is in your bloodstream may be less than when you first initially got it. I don't know if that's for all STIs, but I know that's for some. So when this person came up, because they've been getting tested for a while, and they were like, well, damn, how did this happen? Because I haven't been messing with anybody. So automatically they assume that, hey, listen, my spouse has been messing with somebody.
Hmm.
But the crazy thing was they didn't get a call from anybody. And they said, I never got a call from anybody saying I burned them or anything like that. And they said, more than likely, man, you caught this like back when you was in college or in high school, and you probably noticed some symptoms and you just blew it off because maybe you thought it was the flu, or maybe you thought it was like an ingrown hair or something like that. And then boom, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, because of that, I also think, we should get regularly tested as well. And that wasn't something I found out about until like the last maybe like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, that's true. Also, going back to another reason why married people shouldn't be ashamed to do it, because there are a lot of babies that just pop up from out of nowhere that don't belong in that union, but belong from somebody in that union. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why just because you know, you think your husband or your wife is faithful, still get that test because you never know.
So do you think this, I mean, we're talking about STIs and stuff, but do you think that whenever a baby is born, they should do a paternity test?
I am one of those people who believes that. And I probably think that way because people in my family have been affected, you know, one of them was my grandfather, was affected by somebody trying to put a child on him that wasn't theirs. So I kind of do.
I agree with it too, because I've had that done to
Yeah.
me. I've had somebody try to put a baby on me. And you know, we did what we had to do, and then
Hmm.
we found out that it wasn't my child, and
Yeah.
that was it. And I mean, regardless, there's going to be people who are hurt, but it's much better, much better for you to find out as a father or alleged father when that
Hmm.
baby is like 2, 3, 6 months versus you having a whole relationship with this child and you find out when they're 18, 20, 30 that it ain't your baby. Now, not only have you put yourself through a lot of heartache, but that child, we've all seen the different TV court shows, and hell, you don't even have to
Hmm.
watch TV court shows. I know people in real life that
Exactly.
too. They go and they do one of those DNA tests because they say, I want to find my African heritage. And it was like, yeah, you part Nigerian, part Ghanaian, and your daddy is really your uncle.
Yeah.
And your uncle was really your daddy. You know what I'm saying? So that type of shit. And it's just terrible for everybody involved.
Yeah. Unfortunately, stuff like that happens. And so I am not someone who disagrees with it. And even within husband wife situations, I still think if it's done to where it's a requirement, I think it would take that stigma away from it too.
Yeah, because somebody got to be the bad guy. Because
Yeah.
I thought about it, I got 4 kids, and only one's a boy. So I thought about it, and I was just like, hey, what they say, daddy's baby, mama's baby, daddy. So like them
Yeah.
girls was like we stuck with it no matter what. But with that boy, I was like, I'm gonna be the jerk and be like, hey, look, baby, I'm gonna be the best grandpappy ever. But let's just go ahead and get this paperwork right and make sure we good to go. You know,
Yeah.
I'll be the bad guy. Because like, would you be offended if a dude asked you, "Hey, listen, let's test it out"?
I wouldn't. And like I said, I guess it's because of, like I said, people, I said my grandfather, but it's not just my grandfather. I know other people close to me who have been affected by that. Like you said, there's stories all over the place. I know a guy who thought he had two sons. Come to find out, neither one of them were his. So I would not be offended,
That's
but
tough.
that's just me. But I understand why, if this is really the only person you've been with, I understand how that can be offensive, but I just don't, I wouldn't take offense to it.
I don't think people give enough attention to how devastating that is to a man. I
Yeah.
think we kind of just watched Jerry Springer and we saw the episodes and you see the women running. "Oh," they running and the cameraman running after them and it's become sort of like a jokey joke thing.
Hmm.
I think it's one of those things also where, especially black men, we're not always allowed to feel our feelings 100% and to be vulnerable and be like, yo, this really fucked me up. And
Hmm.
I know when that situation happened to me, my best friend was with me after I found the results and, we hung out, we did some things. He made sure to kind of keep me distracted because he knew that was, it was devastating. And,
Right.
um, he was like, look, bro, you know, when I got the paperwork, he was like, we're going to celebrate either way. If it's
Hmm.
yours, we're gonna celebrate, and if it's not, because that chick's crazy, we're gonna celebrate then too.
Yeah. Not
So
not just the father's emotional state, but if the child is of a certain age and they know the father and then find out this is not my father, that's devastating.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And the father, the child. But what about okay? All of a sudden, this ain't my grandma no more.
Yeah.
This ain't my
Yep.
cousin no more. And
Yep.
it's just it's a bad deal, especially if it happens during marriage.
Hmm.
Most of the time, most of the situations I've known were outside of marriage.
Right.
We was messing around and we was creeping, but yeah, you was also creeping with Jack too, and you didn't really know. But I've known some situations where the wife got caught up and yeah, she had that outside baby. And it's not good. It is
Yeah.
not good. Not good at all. Because you don't automatically assume. I mean, I've never been the type of person to feel like my partner would never have eyes for somebody else, but I would at least would think that if they were to act on it, at least they would do enough to not totally destroy what we got. Like
Hmm.
we talked about STIs at the beginning of the conversation. Don't bring that's like the cardinal rule. Like if you're gonna be cheating, don't bring nothing home.
Right.
Jesus home, don't bring no baby home, right? So if a woman does that, you know, because I mean I don't know. You agree? Is it? I mean I was married and shit. It got to a point like when we first got married, there was that jealousy there. You can't be looking at her. Don't look at her. Don't flirt with her, or whatever. But then toward once you get comfortable with one another, it's just like I see somebody to her type. Like, there you go. Check. Of course I was joking. Like there you go, or vice versa. Because you're not dead. It's just how you
Right.
expect the person that you're with.
Right. Now, yeah, I've been in relationships where, of course, I've been in relationships where I've been with somebody and they were the only person I wanted, but I was still attracted to other people. I can still look at see a nice looking man walking down the street and be like, oh, if I wasn't in a relationship, he could get, But yeah, and I agree with you. As long as you're not dead, you'll find you can find something attractive about anybody.
Now, have you ever had it to where you were attracted to somebody, they were attracted to you, and they let you know that they were attracted to you? How did you handle that? Did you shut it down? Did you allow them to flirt with you, or what was your course of action with that, or if that's ever happened to you?
Yeah, depends on which relationships, because again, I have been in
We're gonna say
relationships,
the monogamous
the
ones.
monogamous ones. I I tend to shut it down. I may flirt a little back and forth, but again, I've said it before, flirting doesn't mean anything for me. So I can flirt with somebody and not care. But I do know that for other people, it can, their feelings can think it's some one way. So I typically tend to shut it down. And then guys piss me off, so it gets shut down even further because that whole, well, are you happy? He can't let you have friends. No, nigga, sorry, no, Negro. If I wanted to have friends, or if I was cool with having another friend, I would be your friend. I'm shutting it down. It ain't got to do with him. Anyway,
For real. That's real.
that's just me.
Nah, that's real. That's real. That's real. Because my thing is this: if I'm with you, obviously I'm attracted to you, and if I'm attracted to you, and back up, I found out from talking to one of my homegirls. She was like, Marv, you were a tad bit shallow, and I was like, what you mean by that? And she was like, you not messing with just plain Jane chick. You may smash one, but you're not gonna be with one. And I was just like, what you mean? And I knew exactly what she was talking about. I was just trying to play stupid. And she was
Hmm.
like, nah, you want a stunner on your arm. And that's true. That's true. So knowing that, and knowing that most of the women who I've been with, I was like, that's my babe, that's my gal. I know if we go out, there's gonna be dudes who gonna be like, God damn, you know what I'm saying, and try to, like, I've been out, like, my ex-wife is a very attractive woman, and I remember, we went to DC for the inauguration, and we were at, some bar in DC, and like, hell, I couldn't even walk away. I couldn't. Most of the time, the women in DC are aggressive, right?
Hmm.
But like, I mean, I went to the restroom and I just happened to be like looking from across the damn club. I'm like, damn, these dudes like some fucking hyenas. They on it like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a drink? Can I do this or whatever? And she was respectfully shutting them down. But so my point being is, you got to kind of assume if you with somebody that looks good, that people gonna make passes at them. People are going to try to talk to them.
That's true.
Who wants to be with somebody that don't nobody else want? You ever heard that?
I have heard that.
But see, then I've been hearing people say, like some women say, and maybe this is like a social media thing. They were like, they like their man a little bit ugly. They say, I like a medium ugly man. Have you ever heard that?
I've heard men and women say that, but I I don't know. I can't.
First of all, I don't like saying the word ugly. I don't believe like we're not God. God created all of us. Who are you to say somebody is ugly? Now, I
Hmm.
might say funny looking or not to my standards when it comes to being, attractive, but I'm never gonna call somebody ugly.
Okay.
Now, I know dudes will call themselves ugly because a lot of them, they're not cute.
Oh no, I've never heard a guy call himself ugly.
No,
Most guys I've met over the course of my life have audacity, whether they look good or not. As most of the ones who don't look good definitely have audacity.
it be the dudes that are average to below average looking. You notice that it be those dudes who had the most to say about the criteria and stipulations when it comes to women.
Hmm.
Like, bro, you got a lot of motherfucking nerve. like Jason Whitlock, that sellout.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
whole situation with Joy Taylor, her talking about the allegations against her sleeping with the executive, sleeping with, another another castmate or what have you. And Jason Willer, I was talking about, that's why I couldn't be around her. Cause I know if I was around her, she's looking good. She got them big ass titties and that peanut butter skin. I wouldn't know how to act. I would have made a move. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, motherfucker, as if you would have a chance.
Right, right.
Have you looked at yourself? Come on, dog. Come on. So my question is, you ever dated a dude that was medium ugly?
Um, I can't say medium.
You look like one of them people that date because of personality. Like, he's got a nice personality and he makes me laugh. So I'll look past X, Y, and Z.
Looks may be deceiving because that is not my ministry. I always say, if I'm not attracted, she won't work. And I need her to work when I need her to work. So yeah, I have to be attracted to the person I'm with.
Dang. I'll come back to that. Let me read what they got in the comments. So Danielle said, I will forever get tested minimally every year, even if I'm married. Folks lie. There shouldn't be judgment when you ask. Yeah, folks do lie. That's for sure. She also said, please do a paternity test, everyone. Yeah, I agree. And Darius said, I wear audacity well. I guess what he's talking about when it comes to looks and everything. Yeah, because it be some dudes, man. Like I tell people all the time, like, hey, look, I might be big, but one thing, motherfucker, you can't take away from me is I'm cute. Some of y'all have to wear a beard. Some of y'all, you talk about women wearing makeup and weave.
Mm.
Men got they makeup and weave too. You know what it is?
It's the beard and the hats.
The beard, it's the hat, it's the sunglasses. If he got on
Mm.
the beard, the hat, and sunglasses, yeah, yeah, yeah. Watch what you got. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got a good personality because
Mm. Yeah,
that's the
actually.
male makeup.
Yeah. Now I do need a great personality, but I need the looks to match.
So if it was 60-40, no, 70-30. Are you going 70 personality or 70 looks?
If we doing percentages like that, it's got to be 50-50. I
No,
can't,
no,
no,
no.
do,
Because
I
50
can't
is
do,
too easy. Stick with the scenario, 70-30. Which
I'd
one?
rather be by myself. If I have to, if I have to skimp on either one, I'd rather be by myself.
Um, I'll answer since Tay is not brave enough to answer. Um, I had to go with personality. I had to go with personality because I've been with women who are very attractive, and if your personality is shit, if you are ugly inside, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want
Mhm.
parts. I can't tolerate it. It don't matter how good you look. I know women who are like dimes. I mean, like certified 10 out of 10. But because I know their personality, oh no, never. And if I
Yeah.
did, and if I did get with you, it'd be just a grudge fuck. Oh, is that can you still say grudge fuck in the Me Too era or no?
You can say it now. Whether you should do it is a totally different thing.
Do women grudge fuck?
I'm sure there are some who do.
Let us know,
Probably.
ladies in the comments. Let us know. Have you ever grudge fucked a dude? What does grudge fucking look like for a woman?
Same way it is for y'all. Some revenge, lots of revenge type, like, this will be the last time you'll never get this again, that type of thing. That's the mentality I'm assuming will go with that because I've never done it.
I just always assume grudge fuck is like rough sex.
Oh, but there's got to be some kind of emotion behind it to make it a grudge fuck.
Yeah. Let's see what they say in the comments. Let's see what they say in the comments. But yeah, nah, I got personality because I've been with some fine ass women. And I've been with some women that not only were they fine, but the sex was amazing. But that personality, fuck off. No, I don't want no parts of it. Stephanie said it's not fair to you or the other person to date someone you're not attracted to. That's hard to hide. And she
Yeah,
is not lying. I
I
have.
agree. There's a show called Married at First Sight. And when the couples get married, that's the first time they're meeting.
Mhm.
And on every single season, there is at least one, sometimes more than one couple where somebody in the relationship is not attracted to the other person. And you always hear, well, attraction grows. I don't want to be with somebody who has to grow into attraction to me. That does not make me feel good. Yeah,
And,
no.
and what's worse about that is you're not you think that okay, well, I'm doing them a favor by being with them. And
Hmm.
you're not really doing them a favor. You're actually hurting them more. Because if you're not attracted to them, it's going to show. Because when you're attracted to somebody, when you're in love, you can't keep your hands off of them. They
Hmm.
cuddle, but when you ain't really attracted to them and they trying to like get underneath you or whatever, you more like standoffish and you'll be more inclined to be short with them. Basically, you may not want to mistreat them, but you're not going to really treat them like they are treating you. Like if they're really into you, it's not going to
Hmm.
be reciprocal. And that's painful. That's
It
hurtful.
is. Yeah.
Hurtful. And
Yeah.
sometimes you may be with somebody and like, maybe they were trying to figure it out. You ever been with somebody and you be like, I don't know. I don't know. You look at their pictures, you see them in person, you're like, I don't know if she does it for me or not. And then you hang out a couple times because you're trying to see what it's like. Then you be like, "Yeah, that ain't going." You ain't had that.
I've never been in that situation, but I have done it. We're looking at their pictures or looking at the profile or just my preferences of what I like, my preferences. I was like, I don't know about that. But then hanging around the person again, humor is my is my kryptonite. The personality was so funny that it was like, oh, I mean, and it wasn't that the person wasn't good looking. It was just they just weren't my preference.
I think I had that happen to me on the flip. Um, I She didn't think I was unattractive. I knew that by the words that she told me, right? Um, and we had a great time spending time with one another. But I started to sniff out that, yeah, she ain't really feeling me like that. So finally, I was bringing up just to ask, like, yo, you ain't really attracted to me, are you? And she didn't want to hurt my feelings. She kind of started, I can just say it. She's like, no, I'm not. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I mean, tell me now. So I don't, play myself and then, because I'm not going to get angry now. Like, if you're
Hmm.
not attracted to me, guess what? There's other motherfuckers who do, right? I'll just go focus
Hmm.
on them. But if it drags out and this whole time, like, I ain't really, I wasn't really feeling you like that. Nah, bitch, why you ain't say that from the jump? You wasted all these years. So, but I think women are more inclined to do that than dudes are, though.
I agree.
I'm not saying dudes won't do it, but a woman will hold her nose and deal, especially if it's like security. Um, Maybe he's just a great guy, like he's gonna take care of the house, he's gonna take care of you, he's can make you laugh or whatever. Yeah, well, I can probably stomach it. Come on now, don't do that to nobody.
Yeah. And I do have some friends who say looks don't matter to them. It's not the case for me. But I mean, if that's how they feel, that's
You
how
know
they
what I
feel.
would ask them? I would ask them this. I said, basically, you would fuck anybody then if looks don't matter.
No, because they need the personality. So that it's not that anybody could get it. You still have to have they still have a standard. It's not a they'll do anybody situation. No.
The older I get, thank God, because I'm getting closer to 50. Thank God I still got blood flow. I'm good, Tay. I'm good, right? But the older I get, I need you to look good and to make me feel good because maybe when I was younger, I could be like, and I did it a couple times, like, ah, damn, she is not cute, but she got some big ass titties. Let me just focus on that. You know what I'm saying? And, I'll focus on the titties or like turn around. Let me hit it from the back. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like at this age, that ain't gonna work. It ain't
Hmm.
it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Angel said I have. So Angel said she grudge fucked the dude. I'm gonna have to, Angel's my cousin, so I'm gonna have to. I want to ask her what went down, but I don't want to ask her what went down. Stephanie said I had a friend who I wasn't sure whether I was attracted to, and after we fucked, curiosity fucked, it was confirmed. Damn. So Stephanie went ahead and took that body. Because most women don't want to add that body to the body count. You know what I'm saying? And you
Uh,
got a curiosity fuck that. Yes, that body does count, ladies. Because y'all got some funny math when it comes to that shit. I got some funny math. Like, if I had sex in high school with him, that don't matter. That don't count anymore. Yes, the fuck it does.
it's like your credit. After 7 years, it falls off.
No, no. Yes, yes, it does. So, have you ever curiosity fuck somebody?
Um, but I mean, I still had to be attracted to them. But it's curiosity to see if the BDE that they carried, big dick energy that they carried, was, really what was going on.
Did he follow through?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your type, Tay?
Why is that important?
I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this. What's your type?
You're asking physically, right? Over 6 feet, dark skin.
Like
Not
me?
just, huh?
Dark, dark like me?
Say that again?
Dark like me?
No, for real though. And the size doesn't matter as long as they're not too skinny and not like I was gonna say Biggie, but there's a guy on Wild 'N Out. He's actually lost weight recently, but he used to be on Wild 'N Out. He was really, really, really big. Not too big.
So you don't want too big and you don't want too small,
Too,
too skinny.
exactly.
So you in the spectrum. As long as you within the spectrum and you somewhat attractive. Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this.
Nice smile. Gotta have a nice smile.
So what if it's like a real skinny guy? It's not your type, right? Physically, it's not your
Mhm.
type. Real skinny, but he got an awesome personality. Would you curiosity fuck him?
Um, it depends on how his face looks, but yeah, the face matters more than I mean because I mean I haven't dated my preference. I don't think any guy has been 100% my preference. But yeah, so I mean there are other things that go into what attracts you to a person.
I don't even know that if I have like I can say like a specific preference other than a black woman. They gotta be a black woman. Um, or a mixed woman that identifies as black.
Yeah.
So um that would be because I could date light bright like you or chocolate like me.
I'm
Um
not that light.
um I've dated real tall, short. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really I think for me just you just have to be an attractive woman. Like
Hmm.
you have to be you you have to be somebody who I'm not gonna again, I'm shallow. I want you to, I want to take you to the family reunion and my uncles and my cousins was like, okay, I'll see you. Like that's the response that you need to get from my people. They got to be like, oh, okay, boy, I'll see what you're doing over there. Or if I bring you around and they just like, Nice to, like on that Key Appeal where he's just like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And my boys and my cousins like, nice to meet you. I'm like, I gotta get rid of her, man. I gotta get rid of her. Yeah, I need a stunner on my arm. And you gotta deal with my bullshit too. You know,
Hmm.
you gotta be able to tolerate that. Cause I know a lot of attractive women that we cool, but they just like, nah, boy, I'm not dealing with I'm not dealing with your shit. Yeah. Cause you ever had when your friends call you out on your nonsense when it comes to relationships?
Um,
Why you think? I'm gonna give you an example.
I'm trying to think. Say that again.
Give you an example.
Okay.
So I was telling my homegirl about this crazy situation with this chick. Had this chick out the blue ask me for some money or what have you. And I was showing her like the text exchange because me and the particular woman were like, we were cool at one point, but then we got into it. And I was showing her the whole thing. And I was like, yo, man, we ain't even on good terms. This motherfucker asking me for money and shit. And then my homegirl was looking at it. She was like, you stay antagonizing people and then trying to act like you ain't antagonizing. And I was like, what you mean? And she pointed out the text messages like, see how you were talking shit right there, but then you try to like say something sweet afterwards. And my cousin had told me I did that shit too, right? So when my homegirl pointed out, I was like, yeah, you're right, but fuck you though.
Oh gosh.
You think I be antagonizing people, Tay?
I don't know. I've never witnessed you in a relationship or flirting with somebody, so I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But whether my friends have tried to call me out, I don't think so. Probably back in the day, matter of fact, I know when I met the guy that I almost married. Well, after we went out on our first date, I wasn't going to go out with him again because I didn't like how he was dressed. And so a friend of mine was like, "You don't like how he dressed? What?" So then she convinced me to give him another chance. But other than that, um, I don't think I've ever been called out
What
on
was wrong?
anything.
What was wrong with how you dressed?
We were in our 20s, and to me, he was dressed like somebody in their 40s. Like he just dressed like an old man. And I'm not talking about our 40s now. I'm talking about the 40s back in the day, which was really old.
Yeah, you ever look like them old TV shows? You remember like how George Jefferson used to look? George Jefferson was like 43. And I'm like,
Exactly.
God damn, you look old.
We are not the 40s of the older generation.
I remember my mama turned 50. I was like, damn, mama old as shit. It wasn't until maybe a few years ago when, one of my older frat brothers was like, motherfucker, 50 ain't old. And then, once you start getting closer to 50, you just like, yeah, you're right. 50 ain't old. It ain't old.
Right.
It ain't. You start feeling it, you know what I mean? Like we start talking about, sexual health, but you sometimes, what they say, are you healthy enough to have sex?
That's a good question at our age.
And it's not just your heart. It's a whole bunch of other shit too.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like for a while I was having like some knee problems. So I was having some inflammation in my knee. And y'all kind of lazy with the shit. Y'all like to just so us we gotta put in work when we hitting it.
Mhm.
And if your knees is fucked up and you trying to like really do your thing, it's like, damn, I can't even put it down like I want to. I gotta get this knee together. Because
Yeah.
that's y'all's go-to. That's y'all's go-to. Oh
What's our go-to?
my knee, I can't ride it because of my knee. I got a bad knee. You know,
Oh, boy.
you can't you
I
can't
don't know about y'all. I
can't
can't.
ride you can't ride it feet flat. We want you to ride it feet flat. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that scooting
But
shit.
it ain't all about y'all. It's in my opinion, on top is where women should be controlling the situation. So it ain't about y'all at that point. It's we are getting the angles right and the emotions right for us, not for y'all. And
Very good
I
point.
I I switch up. But there are times when on the knee, just because of the motion that comes with that, it feels better. And it's not a being lazy thing. It's a what feels better. What's going to get me to the mountaintop?
Very good point.
But there is and I don't mind shouting her out because I love her content. Her name is Goody Howard. She's a sexologist, sex therapist. She has a technique for women who may be suffering from knee problems, hip problems, whatever, for being on top. She calls it the knee up, knee down. So you have one knee up, one knee down on the bed, and you maneuver like that. And I've tried it, not that I have to, but I've tried it, and it is a motion. It is a time where it doesn't put as much strain on your knees or on other parts of your other areas of your body as just being on your knees will do, or being on your feet will do. But she can describe it because it's her technique. She can describe it better than I'm doing right now.
I get it. I get it. I think I've seen. I don't follow her, but I've seen some of those clips. They like she had like a bunch of women like in a yoga studio, and they're like practicing on pillows and shit. Or
There are a few people who do it. I don't know if I've ever seen. She may have some clips out there. I don't know. I don't know. I have to check.
yeah, because this the knees and I got bad hips and I was messing with a chick and I was just like, because like we riding, yes, we as men, like we assist y'all, right? We can move you up and down, help you
I don't
back.
like that. That annoys the heck out of me
For some
because
situations,
I will stop.
some situations it works, Tay. Some,
No, 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 no. Because, like I said, being on top, that's my turn to be. It's what I want at that point. That's what I want. So for y'all doing that, that ain't about me because that doesn't feel good to me.
okay, but we can do that. We can help y'all. Part of having sex. Because sometimes just because you on top, I still might be in control. There's different ways of doing it. Okay. But this one particular chick, man, it was just like all of her weight was on me. And I was just like, yo, like, I was trying to like kind of adjust her or whatever, but then I was just like, yo,
Mhm.
okay. And then she was like, look, man, I got bad hips. And I was like,
Oh,
I said, hey,
okay.
just go ahead, get out of me. This is
Yeah, because I was like, even if you're on your knees, you don't have to put all your weight on somebody. But if she having hip problems, then I don't know if there's a.
you ain't healthy enough to have sex.
But we can bring that back around to the men with the ED. That's the one thing that women have to contend with in their early upper ages, later ages.
No, it's not outside the realm of the possibility. These motherfuckers going to the gas station to get them dick hard pills. And if you ain't right with your health, you fuck around, stroke out while you on top of her. It has happened. That it
Yes.
happens in real. It ain't just something you see in the movies. I know people it's happened to in real life.
Yeah, there's a comedian who and he's
Richard Pryor said, coming while you going."
yeah, but no, there's a comedian. I think his name is Keith. I don't know. I think his first name starts with a K. But he had a stroke and he's still doing his comedy, even with his mouth jacked up, his slurred speech. And he said that's what happened to him. He had a stroke while having sex.
Damn,
I don't mean to be laughing at him, but he's a comedian, so he makes jokes about it. So I can't remember his name offhand.
he had a stroke while he was stroking it.
Yes.
And that's fucked up too, because she might not even know. She might think you busting. You just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this help. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no extended orgasm. Like, I'm in trouble.
Right, right.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, uh, thankfully, my crew of men who I'm with, like, we are pretty open about, hey, what we got going on and health and relationships and all this stuff. We're able to talk and share without feeling like we're gonna get judged or you're gonna get made fun of. But still, your people got your back.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things we had to tell, one of the dudes like, hey man, you need to stay away from that gas station with them dick hard pills, man. You need to start running, you need to start lifting some weights or some shit. And I was like, I was like, why are you doing that? He was like, man, I just really wanted to impress her. So, I just got one of them black rhinos so I can really have a good time with her. I was like, bro, look, man, it ain't worth that, dog. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. So, are you healthy enough to have sex? Yeah, y'all need to get some knee some knee braces do some hip flexor because we tired of that scoot. We're gonna leave the scooting back in 2024. We need y'all to bounce on it. Yeah, okay, Tay, can we do that? Tay said no, it's about us.
Just my opinion.
All right. Before we wrap it up, you got a would you or would not or nasty or normal?
I figured we could do a what you're gonna do, one of
Okay.
the cards.
Okay.
All right. So the three things this week are this one is kind of easy. Chocolate sauce, jump rope, and a feather.
Ah, that's easy.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
No, okay. Thong underwear, flashlight, strawberries.
Thong underwear, flashlight, and strawberries. Okay. So I'm going to take the thong underwear and I'm going to put her hands behind her back and I'm going to tie her hands together. And then I'm going to use the flashlight sort of like one of those lights that they have like at the theater or whatever when they have it on the main person, and I'm gonna have her perform, right? Perform for me, like dance or whatever. And when I'm pleased, I'll feed her a strawberry. Kind of
Okay.
lame, but I was trying to be creative.
No, I mean you were somewhat along the same because I was thinking use the thong underwear as like constraints. The flashlight, I actually thought to set up as if we're making a movie and actually bring the phone out and make a movie
Okay.
and use the light for flashlight as a light and then feed the strawberries. We couldn't think of anything for that.
We got to talk about the one of these shows, like making movies.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
another episode, we'll talk about that, right? Anyway, tell people they can find us.
You can find us at Conversates After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have an interesting topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, subscribe, and leave us a comment.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversationafterdark.com. Listen to our past episodes. We'll have you next time. Peace.
Bye.